What's poppin', everybody? Hello and welcome to Popcorn Culture. My name is Ben Carlin and I am your host. Here with me today is my brother Jay, who will just also be in every episode.
I guess I'll just also be here.
You'll just also be here, yeah.
Yep.
Like every single
Sometimes,
time.
yeah.
Without fail.
Yep, haven't missed one yet.
You haven't missed one yet. You're doing great. You're doing great. You have a
good.
great streak here. 244 episodes into the pop.
Nice.
So thank you for showing up time and time again.
Thank you.
Couldn't do it
Thank you.
without you.
Ben, I will tell you that mustache-wise, I'm getting like all day I've been having this one little hair right here in the middle that's coming down to my lip.
Oh no.
I'm like, it's so funny because like people will say like I have a mustache, but it's not like you don't have like hair on your upper lip. You know, like you technically have a mustache.
I have a hair lip.
Yeah, you have a.
that's a Professor Lockhart reference from Chamber of Secrets. I think one of the people he stole one of his memories from had a hair lip, and
Yes.
it's like, wow, Lockhart, wow.
Actually, I think that is one where they have corrected it they have changed that condition in like future books.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
they did. That's like one of those where like you hear Jim Dale say it, but then if you read the books, it doesn't say that anymore.
It doesn't say that anymore.
Good save. Good
Yeah.
save. Yeah, way to go. But yeah, you're correct. The life of having the mustache is have you found it to be interfering with your ability to eat at all?
Not with eating.
No.
Like when there was like a day when I was eating like chicken wings.
Yeah.
That was a little messier than it otherwise has been historically.
Right.
And I would say the thing that has been the biggest is blowing your nose.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like normally you can just I would just press real hard right into the top of my lip and just just make sure I got every little bit. Now it's like I can't do that.
Ugh,
Can't do that.
man.
And I try and like wipe it down, and it's like then it just feels like it's like it's
Yeah, I know.
like it's like there's hair in the way.
Oh, this is horrible.
I know. Yeah, this is the image you came here for.
I know. Yeah, people
So
are like,
blowing your
"Oh."
nose with a mustache is not as good, but like it's really, I would say in the past, like even just like 3 days, I feel like I've reached a new tier of mustache where it's just like I've gotten so many compliments in like the last like 3 days even.
I mean,
It's like really become like a real feature at this point. It's not just like that's a guy with a mustache. It's like that is a mustache.
It seems, like I must ask you a question about this thing on your face.
Yeah.
It seems like, like I've been like walking down the street with you, and I feel like there have been like just strangers who are like, great mustache, man.
Great mustache.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
thanks.
how do you feel about that? Is it joyous?
I mean, it's fun. It's like it is interesting how much people are willing to just speak up about it and be like, well, that's mustache. It's like it reminds me like when we were talking about like the mobile games, and it was like everyone kind of has like their little, like everyone plays a mobile game, but like it's always such a private thing. It's a thing you do when you're not around anyone. So like no one knows about the mobile game you play. It's like this weirdly private activity.
It is, yeah, because it's mostly the thing you're doing while you're like in between hanging out with other people.
Right, exactly. So I feel like everyone likes mustaches in the same way that they play mobile games.
Oh, so like everybody's like, oh, I
everyone's like,
see
whoa!
one.
But it's
Yeah.
like for some reason, not that many people just grow them on their face.
Oh yeah,
It's like, like not nobody. Certainly you'll see a mustache today, probably.
maybe, yeah,
out
depending
there.
on where you go.
But like I feel what I mean is more like what I'm doing here, like no other facial hair, just the mustache.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, even beyond that, you've kind of like the curly
I got
bits
the curly
going
bits.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
like,
pretty exciting.
I think a lot of people are are afraid to do the curly bits, or maybe that's just not what they're going for. Maybe it's a little too but like it's like you can tell when people see it, and it's like, thank goodness someone's doing it though.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Like you're putting everyone on your back. We all want more of that in the world, but no one's really willing to doing it. And thanks, man. I feel like that's what the compliment says.
Yeah. So here's the real question: is that like there is I can't think of the exact phrasing for it. I think it's post-purchase parody.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to describe it, and it's possible I'm using slightly the wrong term, but I think it's at least in the zip code. But like I know that some people, you learn about this in like business school, because like sometimes it's like post-purchase parody is not great when it comes to designing or marketing your product, because oftentimes it is something somebody only appreciates about the product after they've purchased it, and it's like part of like their like reaffirming to themselves that what they have purchased was a good car.
Okay.
So like it may be not a car. I used car because that is usually like the example given.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big purchase. But like it would be buying a car because you think it looks cool and then discovering it has great fuel economy. And then people are like, oh, how do you like that car? And you're like, oh my gosh, like the fuel economy, amazing. Like I'm filling up half as often. And when I do, it's less, you know, but it's like, you didn't buy it for the fuel economy. It was something you learned about the car after you came to own it, which means maybe it makes you like your decision more, but you couldn't have known it or been going for it in the first place. So the question is almost like, do you feel like there's any part of you that is almost like I've always, because that was how I was. So I can give you that example. Like when I grew my beard, I was like, I really want a beard, but I almost have to do it ironically at first in case it looks bad. That way I have like the ability to like sort of, you know, like walk myself out of it. Yeah. It's like, that was so funny. What a failed experiment. But like, you know, then the end result is like, okay, this is what I wanted. This is good. Is there any part of you that is kind of like the longer you go on, the more positive feedback you get? Is there any of you like, I like this?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. Because like, I think when I was growing it, I didn't really like anticipate like the kind of like curly bits on the end.
Yeah,
you know, like I didn't really know that, you know, either one, how to do that, or whether that just happens to people, or if you have to like train your hair to do it, or if, you know, like you have to like wax it into that position or something.
That's more of what I would have thought. I thought it was more product, but yours does seem to kind of get there on its own.
It does. And it was doing, I like today, if you were watching, like I have put like wax in it and stuff. I've got some, you know, some product now.
I know. Well, yeah,
for
okay.
The mustache.
Here's the other kind of funny thing that I feel like you keep telling me about in passing, and I'm like, is this going to turn into something? But I believe you brought it up very, very early on when you were growing the mustache out. But there is like a performance or a competitive mustache man who follows you on like Instagram.
Yeah.
And it seems like he is like attempting to like rope you, include you, encourage you to like competition.
He's impressed. There's no doubt. Let me see if I can look up the account. I want to say it's like Bob and Elliot this mustache or something. It's a very Bob and Elliot his mustache.
That's the name of the handle?
That's the name of the handle. So it's like a 2-person name. But if you just look at his like info on Instagram, it says public figure, 2-time Beard Team USA National Mustache Champion.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know exactly what that means. I could probably figure it out with like a single Google or so. Like, what does it mean to compete in mustaches or whatever? But hold on, let me see. I can try and find the comment.
The thing that's racing through my mind as you say this is like competition bodybuilding, for example, is.
Hold on. We'll just.
Sorry. Okay.
There we go.
So the thing that reminds me of is like competition bodybuilding, for example. It's like, I think for the longest time, I would have seen people who were bodybuilders and just assumed that like them walking on stage is like, even the informed version of it was like, these are people who have grown increasingly fit and then leading up to the competition basically have gone on like a very strict diet so their muscles are as accentuated as possible.
Yeah.
However, I now have like a buddy who does competition bodybuilding, and like he was telling me the other day that he's got like a posing coach. So there's like you literally like you do your time in the gym, and then you also are doing your time like training to do the specific like positions that they hold for competition grading, and that is also like part of like what you're bringing to the like to the occasion.
Okay,
you know, and so it's not just being physically strong and the spray tan and all the rest. It's also like the maneuvers that you're doing are like difficult enough to where it requires some coaching. Yeah. And so like the thing with the mustache competition that I'm curious about is, it's like, do you like walk on stage and just like turn your head?
I'm imagining it's got to be some kind of like styling of your mustache or something. I have to imagine
styling, like you like weave like beads into it.
Maybe I've seen people, like some people, like, you know, the very traditional kind of thing is like you sort of have like the curls on the edge, but you can make like a full like ring. You could have like stacked rings. You know, you could have like double rings on the side or something.
Oh wow!
You know, I've seen some of like mustache TikTok and Instagram, and it's like some people have some pretty crazy things going on.
I'm sure.
For
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not sure I'm trying to go that hard or anything. At least not to like walk around. But like hilarious. So yeah, we posted a reel recently, and same guy left a comment, and he tags at Death Grip Wax. Get this guy on hashtag Team Death Grip for the 2024 Beard Champ USA. And I'm like, that's, you know, crazy right there. But then Death Grip Wax responds to him and says, absolutely, 100% emoji, you know? And I'm like, well, that's who he was talking to. They seem in charge, and they said absolutely. So I'm like, goodness me. Like, what does that mean? So then I responded and said, what does this mean? How do we move forward? And then first guy responds again and just says, hopefully they message you about nationals, and if so, you get to be part of our amazing team. And I'm like, well, just, like, they said amazing. I don't have a message from them.
I was like,
I'm like,
Jay, what do your DMs look like right now?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the DM? Because they said, like, you know, 100%. And I'm like, where is it?
100%.
Where's it at?
Yeah. Where
100% seems like I should be waiting for a message from you guys.
are you following like Death Grip Metal Beard Wax?
I am following them now, and actually that is already the wax I was using.
No way.
So it would seem right up my alley.
It would.
You know, I'd be like, you know what? I would be interested in hearing more.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
I don't know what it is, but apparently whatever I got going, it's, you know, it's making an impression.
I love it. I love it.
On the greater mustache community.
I know. Yeah. So you're such a newcomer to facial hair, and yet you've outranked me so quickly.
Right, you know.
It's like
kind of wild.
This is like why, you know, it's like
do you think you could, like, if you shaved down your mustache, do you think you could get the curls going?
Maybe I don't know for sure. I know that my mustache actually has grown in stronger. Like the woman who cuts my hair has commented before, because I think she is like a barber, you know, like by trade. So she does only men's like faces and stuff. And I think that like I think sort of frowns a little bit at the rest of my beard, but is usually like, your mustache is good. The rest of your beard is a little like weaky jeebies.
Yeah, weaky jeebies.
Weaky jeebies.
Do you get like a beard trim when you go?
Yeah, I do every time.
Okay,
yeah.
This is something I have a haircut tomorrow, and I'm like, I feel like I need to get like my mustache like trimmed or cleaned up or something, but I don't even know like what to say. Like if I just say like, can you trim my mustache to look good? Like I don't want it to be gone. I just want it to like be a little cleaner, you know, less like bristly.
Yeah. Less bristly. I follow.
Bristly.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you would add the beard and mustache trim to your package.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't need beard, just mustache trim.
Well, yeah. I mean, right. Yeah. They kind of go one.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll
hair and
ask.
hair. It seems like a gross way to describe it.
It does. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll ask about it then tomorrow, because I need something.
I know you. I mean, if you're going to be competition grade, you know.
I know exactly.
Yeah, you got to be like stepping up.
I should tell them that. Be like, now, just so you know, I need like competition grade grooming. Okay.
Right. Yes. Like
I don't know what that means, but I've been informed that I apparently have a competition grade mustache.
Dude,
so.
If you get your face on the wall at Jack's, I'm going to be like green with envy.
What do you mean? Where are people's faces on the wall at Jack's?
They're not yet, because nobody apparently is a
mustache champion.
A mustache champion.
Ah,
but if they can advertise that
if I become a champion,
you're
of
following,
sorts,
yes.
And then they're like, look, you should come here because this is the house that this mustache built.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this was something like when we were on tour, you would go and they would have like, you know, like the green room, if you've ever heard of the green room. That they're like the little backstage. It's a room with a couch that we usually hang out in while we're not on stage, with like a little case of bottled water, and it, like inside of those, they frequently display performers who have like come through.
Yeah.
And at a couple of them, you're like looking at the wall and you're like, I recognize these people. Like, I know who they are. Like, how do we be on the wall? You know, it's like probably just bring your own like headshots and like, be willing to like leave one there.
You guys want one of these?
Yeah. Like he could put us on the wall. We could be up there forever. I know. Yeah.
Want,
it's like this is like the new Roanoke magazine thing is like, can we have our face be places?
Can we?
Which actually, okay, so that gives me a small segue here because I want to give shout outs to 2 Little Colonel members of our community.
Okay.
One is going to be listener Little Colonel Paul. Okay. So we have our GMA sticker competition type thing that we do. So technically, we have a trophy here where we're supposed to be putting names, and we
haven't done it very well.
No. So this is what I'm doing in absence of updating our trophy.
Okay.
So Paul is a pilot and has been able to take our GMA stickers to the clouds, the heavens.
Yeah, just all over the place.
Yeah. And he's a remarkable human being who has also traveled to like mountaintops and stuff and like leaves I think he's playing the GMA sticker game possibly harder than anybody else in the history.
Absolutely, that is true. And speaking of Paul, I want to say that this episode might be coming out on his wedding day.
Goodness gracious,
right?
You are correct.
Right?
Or at least the day before.
Or the day before.
Happy wedding day to Paul.
Happy wedding
we
day.
We wish we could be there with you. I hope it's a truly splendiferous day, and maybe that you even have like maybe like underneath the suit like a little GMA,
you don't think.
a little GMA sticker. You know,
so
it's like it's not visible, but like we're with him in spirit. Hopefully, probably. Yeah. And then hang on, I have to check my email just to make sure I get the name right. So give me 1 second.
Okay,
Hold
I can tell you
please.
that a couple episodes ago we put out a challenge to anyone that if they were in the area that they put a GMA sticker in Wags, the West Addison General Store that is near our family campsite in Vermont. On Lake Champlain. And I don't know if you found them or not. But
yes, I did.
Okay,
yes,
but it has happened.
It has happened. This was like such a delightful email to come into. But Jared, Little Colonel Jared, was out there and lives in the state of Vermont and was like, I decided to travel to Wags to leave one of the GMA stickers. And it was like the amount of nostalgia that I couldn't even explain to you of these people who I don't know personally taking a photo in front of the West Addison General Store.
Wags.
I was like, no, it's like people are there when we're not there. It's there.
Do you think they'd put our picture up at Wags?
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't know if there are bigger fans of the small general store known as Wags than us.
This is probably the most advertising they've ever gotten.
I like to think so.
Yes,
we have you know what? As long as they hopefully bought some of that beef jerky next to the counter,
the open air jar of beef jerky,
which is always amazing somehow.
Which is always amazing. Which you know what? I don't know if they still do that, but I know that at least once when I was a kid, there was just an open jar of beef jerky right there on the counter, and it is to this day the beef jerky I'm chasing.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, this is exactly like we said when your kids went fishing the other day and they were like, there was a really big one we didn't catch. I want to go back and catch that one. And we were like, exactly, kids. Exactly.
Yes. So that's the jerky. The other thing is, if you're ever in Vermont or you want to road trip it up there, it's just part of like a popcorn culture mecca or something.
Yeah,
check out the Wags. Look, the good news is not only can you visit this gas station, but right next door is an ice cream stand that will blow your mind.
It will blow your mind. This was literally the thing that I was like, I feel like we failed to mention that Wags is right next to just an absolutely incredible creamy stand.
Yeah.
And it has just like, if you order a large cone,
I dare you.
I'm pretty sure.
I dare you.
I'm pretty sure it scrapes the surface of the moon.
It might. It is so tall as the soft serve cone there, but doesn't just get anything. It's all good. And you know what? It's like one of those things that we only ever go there, when we're there for the weekend, but it's like you can tell it's a real thing because it's like you will go there and the line of just locals who are at the creamy stand is long. It is going. And it's just like this is a place.
This is a place.
This is a place, and you can look right over there. There's Wags. What a view.
I know. Here's the thing.
You're surrounded on all sides by cow pastures.
It's great. You just breathe in that sweet
manure
there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing though, is that I feel like with the advent of like Yelp or like the TV show like Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives or like whatever, it's like there become these hole in the wall hotspots that you can go to. And there is absolutely no doubt that those places are hotspots for a reason, and they become like big tourist attractions, and it becomes almost this thing where I almost bet like the locals themselves almost always have like a kind of love-hate relationship because it used to be the place that they went and then it was discovered and now it's always crowded, and now this place that you used to go to like sells t-shirts and coffee mugs and hats, and you know, it's like they are like now something beyond what they were.
This is probably, I bet that, yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like Amos Mosquitoes, where we got the huggers.
The huggers, yeah.
It's just like, I'm sure if you were a local, you were like, this place is the best. And now every time I want to go there, there's like an hour wait.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But I feel like this particular ice cream stand / like, you know, deep fried foods and hamburgers place.
Right.
It's like there's nothing gourmet about it at all.
No.
But like, you're not going to be disappointed with any of the food either. It is superb and everything. But it feels to me almost like it is a dive in the most traditional undiscovered
it is
sense.
like, but it is also like, so I think what's weird about like you're right, like the advent of like the Yelp or the social media discovery of like dive bars and hidden gems and stuff. It is like, on the one hand, it brought light to a bunch of otherwise lesser known places, but then because they become lesser known, they're no longer, you're right, they lose some of their diveness. But what it means is then that there are new places that are even divier.
Yeah.
That are even like, you know, it's like people want the unknown places.
Right.
And it's like the Creamy stand to me is like, it is immune to this because like it is crowded already no matter what by the locals, but it's like, it's not a destination location. It's not the kind of place where like you need to drive all the way out there just to try the ice cream because it's going to blow your mind. Like if you happen to be nearby, absolutely go. But it is like, it is not the reason to drive somewhere, but it is 1,000% like the icing on top.
Yes.
Literally the cherry on top.
Yes.
Like if you're there, you need to go, but it's not worth like going there just for that. And because of that, it almost like can't undive itself.
It's protected.
You know? It's protected.
It's in like a invisible dome of spectacular.
Exactly.
But I mean, I feel like we've said it like several times in the past several weeks. It's like so to go there and have like the perfect crisp evening air experience with like the gnats flying around your eyes and ears, and to be eating your peanut butter cup sundae.
Yeah. And let me just if you happen upon this particular Creamy stand in Addison, Vermont, West Addison, and
there you go.
and you're like, you know, it was really good. I just wish it didn't smell that way. And we're like, no, friend. It's supposed to smell that way.
Yeah, it's
okay.
That's the scent is part of the experience.
The scent is part of the experience. Okay.
Right. Yes. They're using genuine cow manure.
Yeah. Right. That's just the wildlife, you know.
Right.
Just to say not so wild, but
the domesticated life.
The domesticated life.
That doesn't seem. That also seems like you're describing like home life.
It seems like suburban life.
It does. It does. But it's domesticated cattle.
Yeah. Which is all cattle.
Which is
really.
Pretty much. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Wags for you.
That's Wags. Anywhere there's a GMA sticker now at Wags, and you know what? I don't see any reason why we couldn't put more there.
You know? That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that like I feel like it would be really fun if we just continuously like more and more people went and like where it is, because I think they even signed it like with like their name or dated it or something. It would just be like really funny if like they were like, do you guys know why there's like a bunch of duck stickers right next to the cooler? So like you walk in, I think there's pool noodles like right there or something, you know, and then there's like a cooler that has things in it, and it's right there.
See if you can find it.
Just stick.
See if you can find it.
I know. Yeah. All the people who are listening, you know, on
listen, if you live in the state of Vermont and you're listening, you need come on. You're on episode 244. You owe it to yourself to make this popcorn culture mecca to Wags. And get an ice cream.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, if you live outside Vermont, you know,
no pressure.
It might be a bit of a trek for you, but if you're in Vermont, like, come on. You got to do it.
If you're near the Champlain Bridge from New York, because you drive from New York into Vermont, like just minutes from this location.
It is barely inside the state of Vermont.
Yeah.
But it is
worth it.
There you go.
Anyway,
so let's see. Speaking of, so we got that one picture, but then we got another picture, Ben, from someone who was driving. I guess they were on a road trip and they were driving past like what looked like the world's largest field of sunflowers.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. impressive. Bit of a flex on that farmer's part, you know.
I know, yeah. That's
You
like,
know.
it's like, who do you think you are with your like 89,000 sunflowers?
I know, right? Here I am trying to even just grow like one and barely succeeding, but succeeding. Then okay, so as you guys know, my sunflower journey has been long and arduous, but I do have one giant sunflower standing in front of my house right now.
Is it like still prim and proper, or is it starting to droop at all?
I mean, like the whole stalk is still really tall. Like many flowers have appeared on it, and they have gone through their entire life cycle.
Okay.
So like there's some at the top where it's like sort of that like husk from the middle is just sort of hanging there, but then there are smaller, bright yellow ones beneath it now.
Okay, beneath.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent.
Yeah. So it is there, but I was at a function last week for Luke's school, and we were meeting some other kids, I guess, from like Luke's age group or whatever, and we were talking to the parents.
His classmates.
That's
Okay,
it.
yeah,
That's the word. And they were, I guess, driving past our house, and someone said like, "Oh, that's Luke's house," and they're like, "Oh, we know those people." But the reason they were pointing out the house was because they always noticed the giant sunflower out front.
Yes.
And they were talking to me, and they were like, "Oh, you're Luke's." I was like, "Oh, are you the one with the giant sunflower?" And I was like, I felt so seen in that moment. I was just like, yes, I am the one with the giant sunflower. Correct.
Notoriety.
It was like, it is a take notice sunflower. It is only one, and there were more, but that one is doing its job miraculously.
Amazingly.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was just like so happy someone noticed it.
Yes. Oh man, I love a world where there's like Bazooka Jack was almost sort of like leaving like one behind. You know, it's like they left no survivors. Then where do the stories come from?
Where do the stories come
from? So Bazooka Jack's
he's like writing his own legacy.
Yeah, you must leave one behind so it may tell the story.
Well, I've taken Bazooka Jack can just shove it as far as I'm concerned.
I know.
I'm so mad at the wildlife.
We are not hunters, but like I feel like your impulse to become one in the name of your garden has been one of the most unexpected twists ever.
I mean, it's like the thing is like, do I think it would make a difference for my personal garden? Probably not, you know, but just the knowledge that I'm out there helping other people not lose their own gardens, not hit deer on the road.
I know
it's appealing.
It would be the most unusual take ever. It's like you're like one of those, you hunt, like that's a thing. Like you're into it. And it's like, well, I'm really all about gardening. And it's like, okay, hold on, let me back up.
It's really more of a public service.
Just trying to
doing the Lord's work, you know,
trying to protect the tomatoes of the world.
Exactly. People are putting their weekends into these projects, and they're being ruined by the deer. Anyway, so this past weekend though, I will go out there, and it is amazing to me. Like sometimes I'll just be like, it's over. Just start thinking about next year. Like, you know what? We gave it a good try. Don't worry about it.
You're describing being a Virginia Tech football fan right now.
Yeah.
But it's next year is our year.
Next year is our year. And like I'm like planning it out in my head. I'm like, I can make a bigger fence. It's not even that hard. I bet I can get friends to help me. Like a bigger fence is definitely just the solution, and we'll just reinforce the bottom. Like I can make it work. I'm positive. This year's kind of a wash. Whatever. Like I'm not there's no reason to go out at this point and like spend the afternoon weeding the entire garden or anything, because it's just sort of a lost cause.
Okay.
But then, you know, like a week will go by and I'll go out there and I'll like just sort of look and just be like, what could have been, you know, what could have been? And I'll look at the tomato plants or whatever, and it's like they're, you know, certainly they were devoured, but it'll be like, oh my God, are there like some tomatoes growing on this plant? And it'll be like, oh, well, maybe there's hope that I'll get something out of it. Maybe there's hope. And then I'll be like, and then it'll be like, Jonathan, don't get your hopes up or anything. But then, you know,
now you sound like the one reminiscing about like the one who got away.
Exactly. I know. And then I'll come back out the next few days and just be like, there's like 7 tomatoes on this plant, and the first ones are getting pretty big. And I'm like, all right, all right, okay. And it's like, you know, you let yourself hope.
Yeah.
And then you come out like a week later and you're like, maybe there'll be like even more tomatoes. Like maybe I will still get at least like a basket full or something. And it's like, and they're all gone. Okay. Yeah, they're all gone again. Cool.
Got a new boyfriend.
I'm just, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I got my hopes up again.
Come on.
And they're gone again. It's so frustrating. So
I'm sorry.
I went out this past weekend. I had like one at least giant pot from replanting other things. And I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my best tomato plant. I'm going to put it in this giant pot. I'm going to put it on the deck. And then I don't need to worry about every tomato plant, but this one plant, if it can produce like tomatoes for me, I'll be happy.
Okay.
If I can salvage anything, we're good. But I'm like, if I walk out one day and the tomatoes of this plant on my deck are gone, I'm gonna lose it. Like how? Like that means there was a rabbit on my deck, or a deer,
or an owl.
or yeah. Do owls eat tomatoes?
I have no idea, but they could.
My gosh, I'd be so mad. So anyway, that's my current state. I've got my one tomato plant. It presently has 5 little green tomatoes on it, and I'm just like, please, just survive. Just give me one big red tomato and I'll call it a victory. Dude, that's all I want.
That is so funny. I mean, although on the flip side, I feel like what's happening on my end of Gardenville is, you know, like I'll go out there and like have like one big like red tomato because like Addie really likes to go out and like what she says is pick pickles.
Yeah, pick pickles. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to go pick pickles from the garden. And so basically she means cucumbers, obviously. But we'll get out there and, you know, like I'll have like one big like red tomato on my vine or whatever, and like I'll pick it and hand it to her. And like I'm looking for like cucumbers, and I'll look over and she's holding it like an apple and just taking huge bites out of it.
That's so funny.
So she'll just in our driveway where our garden is, she's just standing there like
eating tomatoes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and she'll like eat the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Well, that's still, if it's being eaten.
I know. Then it's like when it comes down to it, I'm like, I'm completely fine. It's like what's happening is like, you want to go eat vegetables in the driveway?
Exactly. Right.
What a pastime.
I know.
Oh man, but yeah, so we've been having a lot of fun with that. We're having luck with our cucumbers, so
okay.
we've been stoked there. Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Man, we're at the point of the year, where lots of people are starting to harvest from their garden. So sometimes like Beth will go on Friends with Her runs, and she'll come back and be like, "Look, so and so gave me like a bunch of tomatoes or a bunch of kale," and I'll just be like. In past years, I would have been like, amazing. And I'm still like happy that we have these fresh vegetables and that our friends are sharing, but I'm also just like, I'm like so jealous. You know?
And Jay, you have to have the abundance mindset, not the scarcity mindset.
I know.
Comparison is the thief of happiness.
I know. It's just you're right. I'm not happy for them. It just makes me feel bad about myself.
No, yeah,
you know?
No, I understand. Yeah. It's like good for you and your brand new house and shiny car and everything.
Glad.
It's like I'm totally happy for you. It definitely doesn't make me feel worse about who I am.
It wouldn't be so bad
Except it's kale.
It wouldn't be so bad if I was failing on my own. It's when I feel like I put in all the appropriate effort to succeed, and then it was stolen from me by just like bandits, you know?
by rabbits.
By pirates. Yeah, it's so annoying.
Nothing has brought me more joy than your heartache over your garden. Which it's not joy, it's just adorable.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
No problem.
I feel like
I do mean it.
What has happened in a weird way, it is like I put a lot of focus into this hobby this year, and I was having so much fun with it, and I was like having fun getting invested with it. But it's like, because it has nosedived so hard, it is like left like this gaping, like, well, now I need to like this desire to like my attention to like focus on something like else.
Okay.
You know? And like I feel like I was.
You got like a breakup bod coming.
I got like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing nearly as much Pokemon. I've been like definitely feeling some of that. And then like we were at the store yesterday and just saw a bunch of Lorcana cards, and I was like, boy, it would sure be fun to play that game. You know, and I'm like, I know. I'm like, I was like sitting at TCG Player, and I'm like, maybe I could just buy some cards. Just buy some of the cheap ones, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be good. You know what? I don't have my garden anymore, so I may as well just turn over here. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Just good.
Just go on the internet and swipe right on some cards.
Exactly. That's what it feels like. What?
You know what? It's like, I'm gonna spend $11 today.
Yeah, I spent $11 today. More than 11.
This whole thing has been hilarious. How easily it's been. Your garden heartbreak has been a traditional heartbreak, and it worked every step of the way.
It is exactly that. I did not realize it. It's so funny. It's like, I'm just moving on to new hobbies, you know?
Yeah, you'll get through this.
We're going to get through this, you know? We're going to come out the other end next year, bigger fence.
There are plenty of tomatoes on the vine.
Yeah. And then like in the meantime though, I'm just so that like idiot that just won't give up to. I'm like, maybe I'll buy a tree. Maybe I get a tree.
That's it.
That's it. Has this worked at all?
No.
Maybe if I go bigger.
I'll go bigger. I'm going tree shopping.
I'm going tree shopping. Like I want it to work so bad.
This is now I've got the meme in my head, which is like the woman lying in bed who's like, I bet he's thinking about other women, and Jay's like, I'm thinking about trees.
Exactly.
But pecan or peaches?
Both, Ben.
Both. Why not both?
Why not both? Why not both?
Wow, that may be one of our best segments we've ever had.
That was a pretty good one. Yeah.
How about time for a transition?
All right, sounds good.
All right, Jay. So you thrilled me with a stunning proposition this morning.
Yeah.
And people could even hear the potential ice of your beverage that you just took a sip from.
Yeah.
However, we've made the decision. This is like a quasi public announcement, especially for the pop. So because we are doing Through the Griffin tour in September, we have made the decision to not do GoFest as a professional event.
Endeavor. We won't be doing a live pop. We won't have a tent, but we will be there.
Because
we love the event.
And the reason we wanted to be a part of the event in the first place is because of how much we love the event. And the only small pull on doing the event is that then your ability to participate in it is in some ways maybe withdrawn.
Yes, it is hard to be there without feeling like, I should go over there, or maybe I should go help some, or like, I gotta go do the show or whatever, which is all fun and all good, and I've loved doing it, but there is also like there is the drawback of not being able to just be at the event.
But otherwise, it's always been so much fun. So, so this year we made a decision on Friday. Then we come in this morning. You were like, dude, what if we do the beer mile again?
Beer mile.
And so
beer mile.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the beer mile not the first episode of your vlog ever? It is.
The first vlog I ever did on Jonathan Carlin Vlogs was the beer mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you come in this morning and you're like, dude, what if we do it? So we immediately send a text out to the GMA chat, and there's like, you have like a training plan that's sort of like 10 weeks till game time, where it's like we can go and like even try to like get fast. And then
I know. I was like, you know what, we can like, could we like really like, because part of me was like, what would be really fun is like going and doing like the workouts, and this is sort of the thing at the end where it's like, yeah, we did it.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Like, but in the meantime, we got in shape some.
Yes. It's really the journey is the destination, so to speak.
Exactly, but the destination is going to be winning the beer mile.
Do you want to explain how the beer mile works? To the kids at home who don't know.
If you don't know what the beer mile is, or what a beer mile is, like if you were to do it solo, the way it would work is you'd be like on a track, and like you would say go, and what you have to do is drink an entire beer, usually chugging it, and then run a lap, and then drink an entire beer and then run a lap, and do that 4 times.
So 4 beers, 4 laps, 1 mile.
4 beers, 4 laps, 1 mile. That is the beer mile.
Yes.
Right. So I think that, and I want to say like the world, and it's not like something like we made up or anything. I think the world record is in like the 4-minute range.
Which is absolutely insane.
Insane. Because 1, it takes time to chug the beer, but 2, that means whoever's doing it is then running at least like, each lap with that much more liquid in their stomach.
Yes. And I mean, so like, not that we were ever like extraordinary athletes who were like breaking, even our own high school records or competing at like a state level or anything, but like you and I have run miles during our peak fitness and in the like 5-minute flat range.
Yeah. I mean, my PR on the mile was 5:02.
Okay. Yeah. And so I got my 1 second under with a 4:59. But the point is that like for someone to run this in that zip code while also having drank 4 full beers is properly insane.
Yeah, that they were coming to a stop
Insane.
and then still, making those laps around the track is crazy.
Yes.
But so that the beer mile at GoFest is not a single person event. It is a relay. So each person just has to drink 1 beer and then do their lap and then tag the next person who will drink a beer and then run their lap.
Yes.
And so you have a 4-person team for the relay. We did it how many times? 2 or 3 years?
I think we've done it twice.
I think we've done it twice.
Yeah.
It was like super fun doing it. I think we came in second the first year we did it.
I believe so. Yeah. We did pretty good. And we had a pretty stacked team, but the real thing the thing I'm concerned about, so that this is like part of like what we've already done today in office, is I am just bad at chugging. So like there's sort of like an in-house or even like SCB wide joke, which is like when we do like the Goblet of Fire quiz and we eat like the scorching hot wings for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like I struggle because it takes me forever to chew because the interior volume of my mouth is just quite small. And so I've been chugging like carbonated water from like our Soda Stream thing that we have here. And so this entire episode, I feel like I've had like burps like desperately wanting to come out because I've chugged like 32 ounces of fluids, but like we all stood around the table. Everybody had flat water except for me, and I had my carbonated water. I think the slowest anybody finished their cup of water was like 13 seconds, which was the podcast editor Isybelle.
Yeah.
And this podcast editor Isybelle. And then it was like 40 seconds, and I had like a quarter of my cup left, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to improve.
You gotta bring that down.
I know. Well, and if I was like in competition, I would just like endure the pain. But just like standing, in our office at like 11 o'clock on a Monday morning, it's hard to like stomach all that carbonation.
Right.
But like, so now I'm like, okay, I feel like I've got like a good way to practice, because even like taking like a can of LaCroix or something from the fridge and like consistently pouring it into a cup and like kicking the whole thing back feels like wasteful.
Yeah.
But now it's like we got that Soda Stream thing, and I'm like, okay,
You can practice it.
I'm gonna practice. So I have
you
a
can
solo
chug water out of a cup with the bubbles and everything.
Yeah.
Just ready to go.
So I have a solo cup, a red solo cup on my professional work desk right now that says B-Dog written by you on it.
B-Dog.
Yeah. So the formal invitation to come compete with us at the beer mile. That feels like
right.
It's like we're not doing a live pop this year, but if you feel like running a quarter mile,
be careful, Ben. Paul's gonna show up and
can
smoke
you
us.
imagine?
Paul, do not come smoke us in the beer mile.
He would too.
I know.
He
might.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul from earlier in this podcast.
When I say he would, I don't mean that to put pressure on him to say like he would travel to Virginia to do this thing. I mean, Paul is quite fit.
Yes,
and,
quite fit.
And if he were to be there, I suspect he would beat us.
Well, you got to be. Hopefully, the rest of the team has to be pretty good too.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the plan is the GMA shall compete in the beer mile.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I feel like John is so far like an 80% committing.
I know.
He's like, he doesn't want to not joke around with us about it, but it's like he's the one who has to drive in.
He's for like multiple hours away. So he was like, "Oh my god, so fun! This will be great!" Like, like all the whatevers. Then it's like
you show up.
You didn't actually say you were in.
Yes yet.
I know. Yeah.
Mike hard committed,
right?
So he's in.
Yeah, Mike was almost like he almost went back in time and agreed to it before, before we even suggested it. He was like, 100%. So 100%. Hopefully it's not the same 100% as your mustache wax guy.
Yeah, well, I mean he seems all for it. It's whether or not Death Grip Wax is gonna send me some, an invite,
right,
as it were,
right,
despite their absolutely 100% emoji.
I know. It's like, come on, man, you're sending me mixed signals over here.
I know, like you said, yes. Like, where's the message? Like, should I send them a message? Does that just feel like kind of desperate?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I think you could.
How does this work?
What's the worst case scenario here?
Oh boy,
you get really into the mustache games in lieu of the not being able to compete in the tomato Olympics.
Exactly. Oh boy, if only I could do such things.
I know.
The tomato Olympics.
Yeah, that's something to get after. So okay, so a small transition here. So because we're talking about the idea of drinking a beverage in a capacity.
Yeah.
So the other day I was reading something, and now I was like almost, it was like the type of thing where like I thought that what I had found was like a breakthrough in in something that I do every day that I was like, what if this changes and improves my quality of life? Like, what if this happens right now? And what I am referring to is the quasi absurd idea of adding salt to your coffee.
To your coffee?
Yes. And so basically what has happened is at our house, we almost always stock our own coffee. Which is, Carlin Brothers coffee, available at carlinbrothersmercantile.com in case you didn't know.
Check it out. We also have candles.
We also have candles. Be sure to go and check them all out. Hey, ours isn't burning today.
You're right. We didn't. This is like the one time we actually talk about the candle sitting on the set, and it's not lit today.
It's not lit. Look at us being lazy.
I'm always like, every time I come in here, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of painstaking and a little monotonous, but I will light the candle.
Every time.
Every time.
But we didn't
maybe
today.
there's a match. Maybe as you talk, I'll do it.
Okay. Well, so anyway, we have like our like extreme backup bag of coffee, like, break glass in case of emergency type thing. And it's just a bag of like Starbucks breakfast blend. And so basically what I was Googling was sort of like, why is Starbucks coffee so bitter? Because it's like the flow, like, I mean, coffee is bitter. That's probably like the category that you would place into this particular type of coffee. But I feel like Starbucks coffee in particular is like decidedly bitter. It is like the main flavor is bitterness. And basically what I was discovering as I was like then peeling through like all of the pages about Starbucks bitterness coffee was if you add salt, even like while you're in the brewing process, like a little bit like a one turn of the shaker, like coarse salt into your grounds, it can actually like offset all of that bitterness and give you like a smoother flavor profile.
Wow.
And so you learned the trick like when we were young that if you put like salt on your napkin, then your drink will not like stick to the napkin.
It's a Grandpa Len trick, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like you've basically done it like every time.
Yeah, I do. I always do it. If you're at let me tell you what. Let me pass Grandpa Len's wisdom to the little colonels is that if you're at a restaurant and they give you a little napkin to put your drink on, it's like, that's great. It stops it from like dripping water onto the table. But then when you pick up your glass, the napkin sticks to the bottom of the glass. And that's like just as annoying, if not more so.
Yeah.
So all you got to do, just pour some salt on the napkin, then put your drink on it and it won't stick to the napkin.
How about that?
I know. And it is like, not only that, but it is always a conversation starter. People are like, what are you doing? I'll be like, it won't stick to the napkin. And they'll be like, what? No way. And I'm like, yeah, my grandpa taught me. And they're like, that's so cool. And I'm like, thanks. He's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they all do it and use it forever.
And then they all do it.
Yeah. And then it's like a ripple effect that goes out to the world. It
Right.
makes everywhere slightly better.
Now you guys can be like, I was just listening to my favorite podcast and they like broke my brain with this amazing life hack. So.
I know, yeah. The real question is whether or not you would try putting salt in your coffee, though.
Yes. Would you? It's like, here, don't think about it as like, oh, I don't want salty coffee. Think about it like this, like because I feel like you were doing it and we were like, yeah. So Ben, what you're saying is you put a flavor enhancer in your drink and it tasted better.
Yeah, I know,
like,
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that is what happened. Now, did any of you think of it / read about it on the internet for some reason?
Yeah.
You did?
What? No, I didn't read about
okay.
coffee.
Yeah.
I used to put butter in my coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was like a thing for a while. Is there not like bulletproof coffee?
Bulletproof. I think that's what it's called, bulletproof coffee.
And it's like a way to like
keto something, I think.
Yeah. It feels like it was a way to get like some type of your macros. Like can't remember if it's.
Yes, it felt like some sort of macro hacking. And like you're probably sitting there like, butter. Oh, that's weird. And it's like, honestly, it doesn't really change the flavor that much.
Sure.
And it tasted fine. It wasn't like bad or anything, but I wasn't noticing like obvious benefits. And it's like one of those, the more you look into it, the more it's sort of like, are there benefits? And it's like, well, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. This is the question of like, how in tune with your body are you actually? Because our trainer, Gabriel, I think is someone who is like, obviously he's like a very fitness minded, oriented, centered person. I mean, it's his job, it's his career, doing this particular thing. But oftentimes I feel like he will be talking to me about like some type of like change that he's made like in his diet. And he's like, if I don't do it one day, like I notice the difference. And so like one of those is like adding collagen, which is like a powdered something to your coffee. It's supposed to be like really good for like your joint health and
joints
like your
and
fingernails,
hair and bones and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things where it's like, oh man, if I don't put collagen in my coffee, like I can feel it all day. Like everything just feels worse. And I'm like, I can't tell if I'm like running on like Big Macs and coffee or something like that. But I'm like, I feel like my body cannot discern.
I know.
Like,
yeah. I had, or if it's like, is it just a placebo effect? Or like, I remember once upon a time, our friend Trey had like, his wife had gotten him to start taking like multivitamins or something. And he had sort of scoffed at it at first, but she was like, no, this particular brand is different. It's better. And he was like, okay, whatever. And he started taking them. And then like, he got to the point where he would like, if he left for work and had forgotten to take it, he would like turn around.
You're like, go
and
home.
go home to take the vitamin. Cause he was like, I could just like, it was such a difference. And I was like, I remember him telling that story and I was like, I got to get in on like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
like,
believe.
Right.
And like I got the exact same ones he was getting. And like actually, and then like, did I notice any such difference? Nope. But which is not to say it's not doing anything or that it's like bad for you or anything. Actually even just here recently, I haven't been taking like any sort of vitamin for like a long time, but like in the last like week I ordered a bottle. And so it's the exact same ones that
no way
Trey was talking about, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna start taking them again because one, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell listening to the pop, but for the past like I don't know, several months, I feel like I've been going just on like a real random string of injuries.
You have been.
I know.
Yeah.
Just been like, maybe I need to be like a little more proactive about some like health things. Like, I don't know, like taking vitamins will help you be less injury prone or something. I was like, let me just try and head off as many things as possible because my body seems determined to be hurt at the moment. Like, even if you're watching, you might notice I've got like a wrist brace on at the moment. Which is hilariously a gardening injury.
I was so hoping you would say it. I was like, no, he's not going to do it. He
Yeah,
is going to do it.
This is another way in which the garden has just hurt me this year. Physically, not just emotionally and mentally. But yeah, we came back from our trip at the lake and it was all overgrown and stuff. And I was like, you know what I'm going to go do? I'm just going to go weed the crap out of this garden. And so I did. And then the next day, I had clearly, whatever I'd been pulling with in my left hand, I'd just overdone the same activity over and over and over. And it was like tweaked or pulled or something. And it hurt for like a week. And then it kind of went away. And then, I don't know, last Friday, I don't know what I did, if I just leaned on it wrong or something. Because, like, we had a friend move in down the street, and I, like, helped them move heavy things into their house. No problem. But whatever I did last weekend, completely made it flare up or
we need to get you to like a garden conference or something.
I could just be on some panels or something.
Be on some panels, like everybody else there can like exchange. I bet they even have a vendor selling like wrist guards.
Yeah. So I mean, like we were driving home from like an outing with you and the kids over the weekend, and like the way I was holding the steering wheel was just like hurting. So the next day I went out and got a wrist guard, which is actually helping a tremendous amount.
Well, that's great. I mean, nothing better than when things actually work.
Yeah, but so I've had my stupid wrist injury here. I've had my butt injury from a while ago. I can like, not to sound like such an old man, but like my left knee, which is like an IT band injury from like a decade ago, which is like so annoying. It's just like my body is really letting me know some things about itself here recently, it feels like. So I was like, you know what? Vitamins.
That's
something.
And maybe the occasional beer mile.
And the beer mile. Exactly.
Now we need like an over-under on whether or not
I know,
Jay makes it out unscathed.
I literally texted Beth. I was like, I think we're going to do the beer mile. And I think, like, I actually kind of want to like train for it. She was like, oh, that sounds so fun. She's like, no, don't get hurt. And I was like, ugh. Like, that has been my move lately.
It's been plaguing you a little bit.
It's been plaguing me. It's been very frustrating. So yeah, hopefully we can just go do some sprints and we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. But
you know what? We're gonna if all goes according to plan, we'll just get there and we'll be ready, and we will have gotten faster over the last 10 weeks, and we can bring it home.
Yeah.
Bring it home.
Bring home that trophy.
Bring home that trophy. For glory.
For glory.
It's gonna be great.
Okay, we got this.
That's the plan.
It's gonna. You know what? We're gonna get through it, and we're gonna all be happy and high fiving, and it's gonna be like a tremendous moment that goes down in GMA history forever.
Exactly.
Okay.
The time we took the beer mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although now I feel like it's too much pressure too.
No. You have to use the pressure, Ben.
Use the pressure.
Let it motivate you.
My palms are just sweating. Is that what's supposed to happen?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? That's okay. It's okay to have some palm sweat, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's gonna be good.
You got one last transition left in you?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Ben, you have a note here on the notes that says stroller skis. It's not what you think unless it is. So stroller skis. When I hear skis, it makes me think of like snow skis.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining you are like I don't know, like it's basically like a stroller that is on skis and you're skiing down the mountain and a baby is sitting in a carriage in front of you.
Oh,
is that what
you got closer?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, obviously we've talked a lot this summer, and hopefully it's not just getting completely exhausting to hear us discuss it, but about the boat and how well it is like worked for our family. It has been like that rare moment in my life. Like one of the big like therapy conversations is sort of like expectations and how to manage them.
Mm-hmm.
And so often it can be the case where like we'll go into like a big trip or a big like whatever, a big holiday, and the calibration is sort of trying to like be prepared for what can happen and not trying to like look at it through these like, you know, like rose colored lenses of everything being great and wonderful or whatever. But the boat has been amazing. And so now as we like enter and look ahead into the coming seasons and months, my brain is worrying because I'm aware of the fact that oddly, boating is kind of a landlocked hobby in terms of it can only really properly exist in the summer.
In the summer when it's hot outside.
Yeah, when it's hot outside, so you can go out and like be in the water and stuff, be interacting with it.
I mean, I bet there are fall things we could do with the boat. You know, you could like fish. And stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are other ways which I do fully intend to try to capitalize on.
Yeah.
However, as we look forward and ahead to the coming months, like, you know, we've talked a lot about like trying to like do some camping and stuff like that through the fall or like the shoulder seasons. Like, you know, that way it's kind of like, okay, like, you know, fall, spring, we got to like, you know, go camping. That'll be like a fun, get Addie outside, go learn all those types of things, teach her how to like smash rocks together to start fires and whatnot.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, just like we did.
Just like, back in our old caveman days. Where's your flint and steel?
Come on, man.
Yeah. But then, so the other one is that like, you know, we've been going through, you know, me and Allie, we've been like trying to like look to like winter sports and stuff. And so the other day we're cleaning out our basement. Addie finds my snowboard and she is like fixated on it. She is like, I want this. She's like, I want this one. Is this mine? Can I have this?
Can I have it?
And basically I'm just like, yes. Do you like, do you want any of my other things? You can have all of them. like, but you want this one in particular? Because in my head, I've always sort of been like, maybe I need to take up skiing so that, I can best interact with her on the slopes, because I think trying to teach her to ski while I snowboard would be difficult. But she's very like, she was like, I want this. And so I like took it out into the yard. I had her stand on the middle of it. She like immediately assumed like a snowboarder stance.
Nice.
Which I was like, that's wild.
Cool.
So I tie a rope around it and I'm like literally just dragging her through the yard like in circles. And she's like, again. And I'm like, Addie, we can stay out till midnight if you want to. like if you're having fun, like I will not stop.
Right.
But so it was one of those instances though where she eventually did, you know, get like worn out. We had to go up and obviously go put her to bed and stuff like that. So she went to bed at a normal time. But so then me and Allie afterwards, we're putting her down. We go down to our screened-in porch. We're sitting there like, you know, just chatting and like, you know, sipping. We've been drinking kombucha at night. You know,
nice.
I can always tell when I haven't drank a glass because my gut health feels different.
Right. Yeah.
Not really, but I like to think that it makes a difference.
I mean, I don't think it's like bad for you.
No.
I think there are health benefits to it.
There are health benefits.
Maybe
to
not
it.
as good as kefir or something, but
don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on kefir. But so we're sitting there and Alice pulls out her phone and she's like, "What the heck?" She's like, "I haven't had my phone on me this whole time." And she's like, "Look what is on my like, you know, my For You page or whatever." It was a set of stroller skis, and I was like, "Well, that's really cool." Like I would, you know, because I would love to get Addie like a pair of, you know, like winter things, but it's that classic like, did the phone hear me and that's why it's feeding me this thing? It's like, that's really weird that it can do that. But then we're trying to figure out like what even are stroller skis, and so I just assumed that they were just like trainer skis, almost exactly like I was just doing for Addie, where it's like they didn't have like obvious like clip-in bindings. They didn't look like meant for outdoor going down mountains or anything like that. But then it was being sold by Pottery Barn, which is like a furniture store.
Yeah.
So we're also like, what are stroller skis? And so sure enough, they are skis that you can put the wheels of your stroller onto. So if you live in an area that is constantly infested with snow, you can push your stroller
like a sled.
Like a sled, and it has like ski blades on the bottom. We were like, what?
We just like last year, there is this, I guess this like sort of famous heirloom sled in our family that I have that is effectively this, just it does not have wheels. It is just a stroller that has ski blades on it.
It is just it's like because it came from up north where our whole family is from for always.
Yes, it is. I am petrified that we are going to break it. It is presently just sitting in my garage. I was going to make it part of my winter decorations last year for Christmas. And we went through a whole, I think I talked about it on the pop. We had a whole rigmarole trying to get it on this big shelf, and it just turned out that it was just like an inch too wide.
It just wasn't
going to work. And it was so disappointing because it looks like it should work.
It's the key spot for it.
It is the spot. It would look so good. But
maybe what you could do is go and take your regular stroller, like the standard one that you bought from like Amazon probably, and slap a couple of these stroller skis on it and slap it up on the wall.
That would look so not the same.
Jay, festive.
Dude, nothing. I was having dreams about this weekend was selling all the strollers I presently have.
Oh.
Because we don't use them anymore, but we've got like 3 of them and they're big, and it's like can we just get them out of here,
mount them to the
clear
ceiling,
some space,
yeah,
just get right on out of here. Let's go.
That's an option, right?
Yeah.
Should we have a competition to sell things out of our garage/basements?
Oh boy.
To see who can fundraise the most.
Who can fundraise the most? The most clutter sales.
Who can sell their crap?
Who can sell their stuff the best? I got some stuff I could sell for sure.
It's on. It's on.
I got some stuff.
Maybe we can use it to outfit our camping rigs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Let's circle back. Where were we going initially?
Oh no, that's basically where we got to. I just could not believe that there were these stroller skis. I was like, and so that was me and Alice's like reaction to it. Was we were just like, this is a thing. Like it must be a thing. Like it makes sense that people live in areas that frequently have snow. But we were just like so floored by the phenomenon. But the bigger thing now for me is mostly just like, okay, she really seemed excited about snowboarding? But the thing that I have universally said is that I think that the first day of snowboarding might be one of the most painful days of your entire life.
Probably.
Like, it is just like I don't know that I've ever met anyone who got on the board and just like went down the hill.
Right.
It's like, it just doesn't work like that.
Right. Yeah. You just have to find that balance, and it will require you to fall a bunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, for me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to subject her to this. Should I? I mean, because her enthusiasm toward my snowboard notwithstanding, she probably would still get out there and be like, "This is cool," or terrifying,
right?
Depending on how it goes. But this is like the next frontier. This was like when we knew we were expecting, for whatever reason, this was like my hyperfixation was like
snowboarding,
was like skiing with her. Because I think it's the type of thing I've tried to find a way to like have it be like an aspect of my life in a way that makes like more sense, and I feel like I always fail at achieving these ends. And it's kind of like the conversation that we were having about like the boat, where it's like it took me like 12 years to successfully get to the point where the vision came to fruition,
right?
And now I'm like I almost feel like there's like a whole set of like dominoes that I've been trying to set up for like a long time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I nearing them right now?
Right, are we getting there?
Do I finally get to knock these things down?
Let's go.
Yeah, so that's the dream. That's the horizon. That's the
horizon.
That's the aspiration.
Okay.
In case you want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
I know. I mean, I hear you. Like I definitely want my boys out there on some skis going down the mountain.
Just rip roaring.
So we can all go. So it's just a skill we all have. And then when we're older, we can do bigger things, and it'll just be good, Because it's the sort of thing I feel like you got to learn it when you're like little, because It's not. It feels like the thing that like, oh, it'd be easier to learn. It'd be easy enough to pick up as an adult. And it's like, it's not. It's not.
There is a kind of like glory to your rubbery bones when you're younger, where it's like you can spend the whole day falling. Whereas like if I tried to learn how to snowboard today, I'm like, it would just hurt so bad.
Yeah, like I mean, me and Beth have some couple friends, and they were like, you know what? Neither of us grew up learning how to ski, but like we figured can't really be that hard, so we just went up to like Winter Place and we did some lessons, and like we're like we're just gonna do it. Like we got it. Like we're adults, we can do this. And it was like they were like. It did not go well at all. It's like they're perfectly athletic people otherwise. They just haven't been skiing.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
The best laid plans.
The best laid plans, yeah. But it's like one of those things where like as a kid, I think skiing is often a slow burn. Where like as a kid, it is a lot of hassle to get out there, and then it's cold and all your stuff kind of doesn't necessarily fit because winter stuff is expensive and you don't want to constantly be replacing it as a parent, so just wear it as long as you can, and you're wearing rental skis and the boots aren't comfortable and you're falling down and you're by yourself and you're like, this just, I'm not, it's like it's a lot of work. Why do people do this? But then, slowly over time, I was like, oh yeah, we went on some trips with like the Boy Scout troop and I was just hanging out with my friends all day. And it's like, suddenly you're like in college and your friends like, you guys want to go skiing? We're going to do a ski trip. And it's like, yes, this is the best thing ever. And now suddenly it eventually changes. So one of those things that at first you might not appreciate, but eventually you love it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. It's so fun.
It's a long slog, though.
It's a long slog.
You just got to get there in the end. Anyway, so let me know if anybody out there has stroller skis.
Stroller skis, yeah.
I just want to know. Like, it just seems fun. Yeah. It's like we don't need them,
It seems like you would like what are the conditions where it is like snowy enough outside that you need them, but not so snowy that you can't go for a walk,
I know. Yeah, you're right. Like it definitely feels like it almost feels like you have to be going to like a snowy field party or something. And it's like,
right.
It's like, even then the application is so minimal. It's like, just carry your child across the field.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm just really determined. Cause like, even if you got them out there and you have the correct equipment to go, it's like you still gotta like wrap them up a ton. Like they're still just gonna be out in the cold.
Yeah,
you know, it's like you got to be really committed to this plan and in what feels like just the right environment.
Right. Well, speaking of just the right environment, let me just say that I have like a long expired ambition that might be like trickling its way back up to the surface.
Yeah.
Which is that like when I was in college, I tried really hard to like make my own snow.
Oh yes.
And
no,
so
you try to do this again?
I was thinking about trying to make my own snow again.
I see.
Yes. And the hilarious aspect of it when I was in college was that basically what I was trying to create is a pressure washer.
Right.
Like, I mean, I went through way too much effort and energy to get like an air compressor and tie it to like a hose line that had to be hooked up to like an interior faucet, because if it was so cold outside, you couldn't use like an external faucet because it would just be frozen. So it was like, I was like coming up with like all these like weird parameters and building my own sprayer device out of like galvanized pipe and stuff. And
yeah, a bunch of cobbled together pieces from Lowe's. And
yes. It was very, very ridiculous. And then in the end, I did make enough snow to like cover like a 20 by 20 square. You know? So like, I mean, the underlying like theory behind making snow, especially at like the ski resorts and stuff, is just highly pressurized water vapor. When like it will just freeze before it hits the ground because
it's cold
it
enough.
is that cold.
Yeah.
The problem is that like you're never going to make enough in like a home environment to cover, like a hill.
Yeah.
To go and ski on. But then like the big thing that was occurring to me while I was pulling Addie around on like the snowboard was I was like, okay, this could be like a really good way for her to get used to being in her skis and stuff, especially if all I have to cover is like half of my lawn. It doesn't need to be a slope, and I'll just drag her in circles.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. I own a pressure washer now.
Nice. Yeah.
So come cold weather season, I'm just going to go out there and like latch that thing up, zip tie the handle shut, and just like let it run.
Let it go.
Yeah. Just go till you run out of gas and see if you don't end up just like covering like half of your yard in little pelletized snows.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
That's the goal. And then if it works, it's just like tug them around.
Boom.
boom, bam. Hopefully
Boom,
you
bam.
hopefully you don't burst any pipes or anything in the process.
Yeah, that seems like it could maybe. Well, it feels like you wouldn't burst the pipes. Why would you, if it's running water?
If it's running
okay.
water, it shouldn't. But my concern would be like the little tip nozzle where like the water's spraying out. It's like it could conceivably freeze. And then like the hose that like feeds through from the pressure washer, it seems like that's what would burst.
I see.
In the end. But you know what? Worth it.
Worth it.
You know,
what?
like, it's
cool.
like, we'll just buy a new hose.
It's cool. I have a very tiny hill in my backyard. If you want to, we could try it there if she wants to go down a hill.
I love this plan.
Yeah,
I love
right.
this plan.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's on. Jay and Ben make their own snow.
That's right. That's right.
A brand new episode.
We teach the kids how to ski in our backyards with
Right.
6-foot hills.
Right.
It's going to be great.
Yes. Anyway, aspirations, you got to have them. Guys, as always, be sure to let us know your feedback on the pop by shooting it over to popcornculturepod@gmail.com. Let's just try to bring back the GMA sticker competition.
Let's bring it back.
In informal wear, where you can go over to Carlin Brothers Mercantile where you can get those stickers and also check out like the coffee or the candles. There's all sorts of stuff going on. So if you want a good way to support the show, that is a great way to do it. Or you can go to patreon.com/popcornculture where we've got tons of cool perks as well. Links to that in the description down below. But otherwise, until next time,
Pop, pop.
Today's episode was edited by Isybelle Christley. Vaishon Brandon does our art. Catherine Stein is our production manager, and the show is hosted by me and Jonathan Carlin.